Hey guys, the Black Critter Guy here on this glorious Wednesday afternoon to present you all with a new top 10 list. Now this top 10 list was a request by two of my subscribers by the name of Lenny Bays Arias and Hamna Fatima. I really hope that's how you pronounce those names. If I got it wrong, I apologize. I'm really bad at pronunciation. And they requested me to do a top 10 underrated anime list. And needless to say, I was all for that. These are animes that I felt like really excelled in many areas, including animation, story, characters, music, voice acting, the whole 9 yards, but just never got any recognition or mainstream success from it. And when I say recognition or mainstream success, I mean here in America, not in Japan, because some of the choices on this list do have a huge following and are pretty popular in Japan. But as for America, not so much. And before I start this list, just keep in mind that this is my personal choices of anime that I feel like don't get a lot of recognition here in America. You may agree with my choices, you may disagree with my choices. That's all fine and dandy as long as we can respect each other's opinion. And let me know what you think. Kicking off our list in an awesome way is my number 10 choice, School Rumble. Now, you might be shocked to see School Rumble so low on this list, but the reason for that is because it's slowly gaining traction here in the United States to where it is becoming a little more known. It's just not as popular or as widely known as many other animes in the same genre as well. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely. School Rumble in its entirety is a wacky romantic comedy following these two characters, the clueless Tenma Skamato and the delinquent Harima Kenji, as they attend school, interact with various people, get into crazy situation after crazy situation, and try to express their love. The story is simplistically unique and charming, focusing on two love stories rather than one, and shining a new spotlight on a delinquent character that we've never seen in an anime before. The characters are all colorful, unique, and very entertaining. The voice acting, both in the Japanese and English dub, is superb, being one of Funimation's best dubs ever, and the comedy is really solid. It's just an overall fun ride from beginning to end. And we cannot forget the opening and ending themes. Exhilarating. Coming back from the dead in an interesting way is my number 9 choice, Is This a Zombie? Yes, I know Is This a Zombie is very popular in Japan, but here in America, not so much. I barely see any DVDs of Is This a Zombie. I got lucky at MegaCon this year, and I barely see anybody ever cosplay or talk about Is This a Zombie, which is a damn shame because it's a very unique romantic comedy similar to School Rumble, but instead having a more supernatural element to it. It follows Ayamu, a boy who was turned into a zombie by a necromancer and now lives in a house with said necromancer, a magical girl, and even a vampire. And together they fight various monsters and spirits and get into some wacky situations as well. The anime as a whole is very charming and entertaining with a lot of sentimental moments thrown into it. The characters are all likable and have great bonds with each other. The action scenes are pretty cool to watch, the animation is solid, and the romance and comedy are handled very well. It's a must-see for any fan of romantic comedy anime. Student Council rule number 8. Make sure that your number 8 spot has to be Setokai Yakuin Domo. Once again, this was another anime that was very popular in Japan. In fact, it got itself a second season, which is freaking awesome. I can't wait to see it. But it didn't get a lot of traction here in the United States, which is really sad because Setokai Yakuin Domo is a really fun and entertaining anime following this guy named Suda who gets transferred to this once all-girls high school, which is now a co-ed school, and gets forced to join the student council. And it basically follows him and his adventures with said student council. The jokes are hilarious, the characters are all entertaining, they're colorful, they're interesting, and I did like the relationships between many of the characters. It was a fun and enjoyable anime. Can't wait to see the second season, as I said, and I really hope that more people check it out. It is literally a hidden gem of an anime, especially if you're a fan of comedy animes. Training to be the number 1 ninja is my number 7 choice, Ninja Nonsense. You're probably scratching your head right now, aren't you? If I were to describe ninja nonsense, it's basically like Bobobo with more ninjas and more ecchi elements. This anime is basically about a ninja in training named Shinobu and her wacky adventures with her best friend Kaede and this weird yellow ball-shaped character who we have no idea what he is, named An Sakamaru. And it's just a really absurd and wacky comedy that I just had a blast watching. It's one of the few animes on this list that I have seen a million times. It never gets old to me. Yes, it's extremely over the top. Yes, it has a lot of ecchi elements, and yes, it is very nonsensical. But I mean, the title already implies that. It's called Ninja Nonsense after all, but I don't care. I had a blast watching this anime. I laughed out loud so many times. There's just so many memorable and hilarious scenes. All of the characters are really likable and enjoyable. Like, you have this whole clan of identical looking ninjas, one of them being named Sasuke. You got An Sakamaru, who steals every scene that he's in. And then I really like Shinobu and Kaede and their relationship. I liked it so much that I actually bought the light novel to see where their relationship would go. I wanted to see more of their relationship. It's just a really fun and enjoyable anime. And if you're a fan of wacky, over-the-top animes like Bobo, I definitely say you should go check it out. Kicking ass and taking box lunches is my number 6 choice, Bento. This is the third top 10 list that Bento has been featured in, and for good reason. This anime is a whole lot of fun, and it's really sad that it wasn't really popular both in Japan and even in America. It's a tragedy. I mean, seriously, how could an anime about a bunch of kids literally brawling for bentos not be interesting or at the least bit entertaining? The action scenes were intense, the music exhilarating, the animation superb, and the characters really likable. It's an overall entertaining action anime that deserves a second chance and more recognition. Proving to me that josei anime is not only touching, but really good is my number 5 choice, Useki Drop. Now, disregarding its manga ending, I really liked the anime. I never thought that in 100 years that I would watch an anime that centered solely on a single parent raising a little child. Never in 100 years. But even more shocking, I never thought in a million years that I would be absolutely in love with it, which Useki Drop proved me wrong. The animation is very soothing and serene, giving this welcoming atmosphere to the anime. The bond between Daikichi and Rin was really strong, and I loved their father-daughter relationship. It just got ruined by that manga. Oh, I just wish it didn't exist. We're not here to talk about the manga, we're here to talk about the anime. The anime as a whole is just a delight, being a well-told story about a father raising a little girl. And it just really touched me, and I was very surprised that it doesn't have that huge of a following here in America. Not a lot of people know about Useki Drop, or even talk about it, which is a damn shame because, again, the anime is superb. Not much the manga, but that's for another day. If you're a fan of josei anime or simplistic anime, I definitely recommend watching Useki Drop. It'll touch your heart as it has touched mine. And speaking of animes that touched my heart, we got my number 4 choice, True Tears, which is honestly the best anime drama I've ever seen. It is literally one of my all-time favorites. It's a story about unrequited love, which we all have experienced at one time or another, making it very relatable to many of us. The animation is very serene and has very well-developed and fully fleshed out characters. Although I wish the ending could have been a bit different, it is very realistic and I was glad that they took that direction. It's an overall great package of an anime. And that opening theme, man, gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. Cross-dressing its way into the number 3 spot is Horo Masuko, an anime that shined a very serious light on transsexuality and self-identity. It's an impactful story about a boy named Nitori who likes to dress up as a girl and is about to go into middle school and is dealing with puberty and trying to find acceptance in the world. What really made this anime stand out to me is the fact that they took the topic of transsexuality very seriously, not mocking or ridiculing ridiculing the characters, but shedding a whole new light and giving us a whole new perspective on transsexuality, and actually getting to see life through the eyes of somebody who is a transsexual, all the trials and tribulations that they face and the ridicule that they get from strangers and family members alike. And to be honest, it had a profound effect on me as a person, changing my whole perspective on people that are transsexuals. It has a strong story with interesting characters and great animation, and it's an anime that I highly recommend to everybody. And it breaks my heart that not a lot of people know about this great anime, Horo Musuko. So if you have a chance, go watch it and go tell your friends about it. It's a really good anime. Switching minds in the number 2 spot is Kokoro Connect. Now, I've talked about this anime to death on my channel, and that's because I really love this anime about these 5 friends who are part of this club and get experimented on by this mysterious being known as Heartseed. And they face a lot of different trials and tribulations, like switching minds and hearing each other's thoughts. And it's one of the few animes where I felt like the characters are so well developed and you get a full understanding of each and every one of them. I mean, you get an understanding of their personality, their backstory, and some of the pain and suffering that some of them had to endure. Everything was on the table, and I just loved seeing that. And it breaks my heart that it wasn't very successful in Japan and it didn't have that big of a following, thus there wasn't a second season. And it wasn't even successful here in America because not a lot of people talk about it. And yes, it is a fairly new anime, but come on, if we can talk about Kill la Kill, I'm pretty sure we could talk about Kokoro Connect 2 years after the fact. It's an anime with a compelling story, fully fleshed out characters, great animation, and superb voice acting. Some of the best voice work I've heard in an anime. And I truly think that you all should go check it out if you have not seen it. It is truly underrated and it's a damn shame. And now we reach the head honcho, number 1. And what anime could take the top spot as the most underrated anime in my opinion? Well, that anime is Now and Then, Here and There. Truly a masterpiece of an anime that just blew me away. I mean, seriously, I did not expect this anime to be this profound, this dark, and this graphic. I never would have expected it. Although this anime does have a fantasy element to it, it is strictly a no-holds-barred kind of anime. Anything could happen to any character, whether it be death, rape, what have you. It could happen. It's a story about a boy that gets transported to another world and is forced to join this military group led by this insane ruler that's in search for water and will do whatever it takes to get it. If it means killing a bunch of people, destroying a village, or torturing this poor girl, he will do whatever it takes. To me, this anime felt like a strong commentary about the evils of war and its effect on the people that are a part of it, both psychologically and physically. A lot of these characters deal with a lot of trauma, and it was just very sad to see. Although, it's something that I feel like should be seen. It has such a strong message behind it. Although the animation might not be that good, its message and story is superb and has very interesting and dynamic characters. And there's something about that ending theme that's both soothing yet haunting at the same time. It gives me goosebumps every time I hear it and almost brings me to tears as well. It easily takes the number 1 spot because of how unknown it is to the majority of the mainstream, both in Japan and here in America. I think that it's almost at the same level, not saying that it is at the same level, but almost at the same level as Grave of the Fireflies, which had a profound effect on me and shows us the casualties of war. Same thing here, it's just it's told in a different setting and in a different world, but the message is still clear. And that is why Now and Then, Here and There is my number 1 choice for the most underrated anime ever. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my top 10 most underrated anime list. And I would like to know, did you agree with my list? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any animes out? And let me know, what is the most underrated anime in your opinion? Comment below and let me know. And I have a new video on We Live Film on my top 5 favorite movie remakes, so go check that out. A link will be at the end of this video. And I have my review for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes coming out this Friday, so stay tuned for that. And until next Wednesday, guys, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Wallet II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.